Donald Trump held his first official cabinet meeting today in front of a very friendly press, and since he's not the real president, Elon Musk was also there. It was pretty much as bad as you would expect. He capitulated to Russia. He basically said that we might invade Afghanistan again and take back Bagram because we need to get back all of our big, beautiful equipment. And Elon Musk was there to talk about DOGE and to talk about all the waste and fraud that he's found. He also just was the most cringiest person ever.
Well, thank you, Elon. Thank you, Mr. President. I actually just call myself a humble tech support here because this is actually...
He tries so hard to be funny, and he just does not have the confidence. Like, he went on to tell another joke about when they make mistakes, and one of the things that they mistakenly halted was Ebola research.
And I should say, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect. But when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly. So, for example, with USAID, one of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored the Ebola prevention immediately, and there was no interruption.
Elon Musk claims there were no interruptions when they just accidentally halted Ebola prevention. But Jeremy Conondike, who led the federal government's response to the Ebola outbreak in West Africa from 2014 to 2015, said that that's bullshit. So I've actually led Ebola outbreak response at USAID. This is bunk from Elon. They have laid off most of the experts. They're bankrupting most of the partner orgs, have withdrawn from WHO, and muzzled CDC. What's left is a fig leaf effort to cover their asses politically. Yeah, according to the experts, Elon is lying. Of course it disrupted Ebola prevention, and he's just yucking it up while nobody else laughs at him because he's not funny. Trump then gets asked if anybody in the cabinet has a problem with Elon Musk, and then they all applaud awkwardly, and then Elon Musk talks about how they're the best ever.
If you had heard otherwise, and if you had heard anything about members of the cabinet who weren't happy with the way things were going, and if so, what are you doing to address those any dissatisfaction?
You want to let the cabinet speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, we'll throw him out of here. Is anybody unhappy? We have a lot of respect for Elon and that he's doing this, and some disagree a little bit, but I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's not only happy, they're thrilled. So go ahead, Elon.
And President Trump has put together, I think, the best cabinet ever. Literally. So, I do not give false praise. This is an incredible group of people. I don't think that such a talented team has actually ever been assembled. I think it's literally the best cabinet that the country has ever had, and I think the company should be incredibly appreciative of the people in this room.
He said the company should be appreciative for the administration. The company. America is not a company, man. It's certainly not your company. Elon Musk talks as if they're the freaking Justice League or the Avengers because he thinks he's Tony Stark. And it's really weird because, objectively speaking, they are all insane and unqualified for their positions. Captain America would punch all of them in the face. Elon is then asked about that email he sent out to all federal employees demanding a response. And can I just say again how weird it is that Elon Musk is at this cabinet meeting standing there with his tented fingers like an actual Bond villain? He goes on and rambles about the email and how it's just a pulse check and how it's not that much to ask to respond to an email. Who the fuck are you, Elon? You're not anybody's boss. What?
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. Musk. Are there about half of the government employees so far appear to have responded to your request for what they've been doing over the past week? Is there a timeline in place for next moves for people being fired, and when can the American people expect to see results of that?
Yes. Well, to be clear, I think that email perhaps was best interpreted as a performance review, but
It was a pulse check review. Do you have a pulse? Do you have a pulse and 2 neurons? So if you have a pulse and 2 neurons, you can reply to an email. This is, I think not a high bar, is what I'm saying. This is, anyone can accomplish this. But what we are trying to get to the bottom of is we think there are a number of people on the government payroll who are dead, which is probably why they can't respond. And some people who are not real people, like they're literally fictional individuals that are collecting paychecks. Well, somebody's collecting paychecks on a fictional individual. So we're just literally trying to figure out, are these people real? Are they alive? And can they write an email? Which I think is a reasonable expectation for the American public would have at least that expectation of someone in the public sector.
He is so disrespectful of the American workforce. Like, he genuinely thinks he's better than all of us. I need you guys to realize that. Trump then realizes that he hasn't gotten to speak in a long time because all the questions have gone to Elon. And so he gives a rambling 5-minute diatribe, basically coming up with crazy reasons as to why people would not have answered the email and what he wants to do with all the federal employees that haven't answered the email.
Wait a minute, wait. I'd like to add that those million people that haven't responded, though, Elon, they are on the bubble. I wouldn't say that we're thrilled about it. They haven't responded. Now, maybe they don't exist. Maybe we're paying people that don't exist. Don't forget, we just got here. This group just got here. But those people are on the bubble, as they say. Maybe they're going to be gone. Maybe they're not around. Maybe they have other jobs. Maybe they moved and they're not where they're supposed to be. A lot of things could have happened. I wouldn't say that Biden ran a very tight administration.
I had never heard that term, on the bubble. Apparently it is about sports, and it's about the last player on a team or among the last awaiting news about qualifying for the final place in a competition. I guess that kind of relates to what he's talking about, except not at all. I don't know. He then goes on and on and on about 200-year-olds collecting Social Security and just continues to tell lies about all the fraud that they've found. Trump then gets asked a really weirdly framed question about his $5 million gold card immigration thing that he announced yesterday.
Follow on that, Mr. President, about the Trump gold card idea that you unveiled yesterday.
I hope you like it.
I await more information, but the question is, does this reflect a view on your part that the American immigration system has never been properly monetized as you feel it should be?
Well, not so much monetized. It hasn't been properly run. I get calls from, as an example, companies where they want to hire the number one student at a school. A person comes from India, China, Japan, lots of different places, and they go to Harvard, the Wharton School of Finance, they go to Yale, they go to all great schools, and they graduate number one in their class, and they're made job offers, but the offer is immediately rescinded because you have no idea whether or not that person can stay in the country. I want to be able to have that person stay in the country. These companies can go and buy a gold card, and they can use it as a matter of recruitment. At the same time, the company is using that money to pay down debt.
So instead of making it easier for that brilliant graduate from Harvard or Yale or whatever to become a citizen, he wants companies to pay $5 million in the hopes that they'll recruit and hire these immigrants. We'll call it trickle-down immigration. That same reporter then steamrolls a CBS journalist to ask a question about loyalty within the administration.
We're not doing anything on this.
Mr. President, part of your mission, sir, part of your mission has been, thank you, I'm sorry. Part of your mission has been to restore executive control over the executive branch. Is it your view of your authority that you have the power to call up any one of or all of the people seated at this table and issue orders that they're bound to follow?
Oh, yeah, they'll follow the orders, yes, they will.
No exceptions?
No exception. Well, let's see, let me think. Oh, yeah. She'll have an exception. Of course, no exceptions. You know that.
Spoken like a true authoritarian. yeah, that was pretty much it. He got a lot more questions about Ukraine, and he basically said not really going to ask Russia for anything. Probably just going to give them the land that they have already occupied. Zelensky's going to meet with him on Friday, probably to sign over mineral rights of Ukraine to Trump. Trump said he doesn't want them joining NATO. He announced tariffs are going to be starting April 2nd. He talked a lot more about how Canada should be the 51st state, how we subsidize the European Union. He said the European Union was started to screw the United States. Like, he kept saying that. It was really stupid. Elon Musk stood there like Mr. Burns the whole time, trying to get laughs, and like got a few sympathy laughs. Vance just sat across from Trump sipping his tea. FK Jr. got asked about the measles outbreak, and he basically said, we posted about it on X, we're following it, like, what can you do? Measles outbreaks happen all the time. Trump basically said that they are going to gut national forests for their lumber, because he said, we don't need Canadian lumber. We have plenty of lumber here, we just have to unleash it. Which all those national parks are at risk. In his first administration, he wanted to use Bear Ears National Monument and like drill there and mine it and everything, and Biden reversed that. So all that's coming back. He wants to sell off national parks. The whole thing was very stupid and exhausting. Yeah, that was the Trump cabinet meeting. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more.